Greetings, beloveds online, and peace be with you. I'm Reverend Mitzi, and welcome to Unity of Tempe. For those who will be watching this later, just this part, you don't get the rest of the service, just the message online. And if you are watching, or even if you're here today, I invite you to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, Unity of Tempe. That would be wonderful. So today we are examining another of the 12 powers, profound teachings of Unity co-founder Charles Fillmore. And today, what power are we exploring? Imagination. And some of you got the blurb because the color that represents imagination is light blue. And the disciple is Bartholomew, and it is located in the body between the eyes. So imagination isn't just wishful thinking or daydreaming. It's a powerful tool that we all have. And it allows us to see possibilities and bring new ideas to life. Everything we create, invent, or transform begins in the mind first. And imagination lets us look past the surface and envision something more. Henry Ward Beecher said, let's say it together, the soul without imagination is what an observatory would be without a telescope. So imagination helps us shape our lives in alignment with our highest purpose. It's how we solve problems, heal, connect with something greater than ourselves. And it goes beyond the limits of the physical world, opening the door to endless possibilities. As what William Blake said, let's say this together, what is now proved was once only imagined. Sometimes, though, we convince ourselves that we lack imagination, that creativity belongs to others. Who has ever done that to themselves? I'm just not creative enough. Anyone ever? You don't have to raise your hand, or I don't have the imagination for it. But that simply isn't true. Because whether we realize it or not, we use our imagination every single day. I have sure been using it a lot this week as I've been packing and imagining all sorts of different climates and possibilities and everything, and trying to fit it all into a carry-on. And a few little overflow items in a slightly larger case that Ron has that he's checking. It's been quite the journey. But we use it when we get up in the morning and imagine what we're going to do. Every single day we're using imagination. And it is the way that we shape our now and our future. And the key is to trust our imagination, nurture it, and let it flow freely. So before we go any further, let's affirm together, I have a vast and wondrous imagination. My imagination brings possibilities to life. Yes, we all have imagination. But the question is, are we using it to enhance our life and the lives of those around us and potentially the world as much as possible? Because the way that we use our imagination can bring peace, or it can bring stress. It can ignite our spirit to soar, or it can shut us down. And I'm sure many of us have experienced both of those things, imagining the worst case scenario and then imagining the best case scenario. Well, to illustrate, here's a story by humorist Dave Barry, showing how we can let our imagination run away with us in ways that might not be for our benefit. Roger is attracted to Elaine. He asks her out, she accepts, they go on a date, they have a wonderful time, they go on another date, and they begin seeing each other regularly. One evening while Roger's driving Elaine home, a thought occurs to her. She says it aloud, Roger, do you realize that we've been seeing each other for exactly 6 months? Silence. To Elaine, it is a very loud silence. She thinks, I wonder if it bothers him that I said that. Maybe he's been feeling confined by a relationship. Maybe he thinks I'm trying to push him into something. Maybe he doesn't want this. And Roger's thinking, wow, 6 months. And Elaine's thinking, I'm not so sure I want this kind of relationship either. Sometimes I wish I had a little more space. Where's this going anyway? Are we going to get married? Are we going to have kids? I wonder what our kids would look like. And Roger's thinking, 6 months. So that means it was February when we started going out, which means that was right after I took the car into the dealership, which means, holy ravioli, it's time for an oil change. And Elaine's thinking, he's upset. I can see it on his face. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he wants more from our relationship. Maybe he sensed before I even sensed it that I'm feeling some reservations. And Roger's thinking, I'm going to have them look at that transmission again. I don't care what those morons say. This thing's still shifting like a garbage truck. And Elaine's thinking, he's angry. I don't blame him. I'd be angry too. I feel so guilty putting him through this, but I can't help the way I feel. I'm just not sure. And Roger's thinking, they'll probably say it's only a 90-day warranty, jerks. And Elaine's thinking, maybe I'm too idealistic, waiting for a night to ride up on a white horse when I have a perfectly good man I enjoy being with. And why am I thinking about a night and a horse? And Roger's thinking, warranty. I'll give them warranty. I'll take their warranty and stick it right up there. Roger? What? I'm such a fool, Elaine says. I know there's no knight and no horse. No horse? Roger asks. You think I'm a fool, don't you? Well, of course not, says Roger. It's just that, well, maybe I need some time. Long pause. Roger's clueless, but he knows she wants an answer. So he smiles and says, okay? Oh, you feel the same way too? Yes. Elaine begins to cry. He doesn't know why. He drops her off. She lies on her bed, a conflicted, tortured soul, and weeps until dawn. Back home, Roger opens a bag of Dorito, turns on the TV, and becomes deeply involved in a tennis match with 2 Belgians he's never heard of before. Yet, in the back of his mind, there's a tiny voice that says something was going on with Elaine back there. The next day, Elaine will call her closest friends. They'll talk for 6 hours straight about what she said, what he said, how he said it, and what she thought he meant. And this will go on for weeks, possibly even months. Meanwhile, one day, Roger will be playing racquetball with a friend that knows Elaine. And Roger will pause mid-serve and say, Norm, did Elaine ever own a horse? Took a long time to get there, but can't we see that in our own lives? Maybe not in a relationship, but in other ways that we just let our imagination run away with us, especially with other people too. Well, I think they meant that, and it's like we don't even know what's going on in anyone else's mind. Sometimes we don't even know what's going on in our own mind. Thoreau said, let's say it together, the world is but a canvas for our imagination. Now, there is a great video on imagination, and it features the voice of Neville Goddard. And he was considered an influential teacher in the New Thought arena for many years. And he spoke of God in intimate terms, as though he knew God very well, which he believed he did, and which we do too, you know, in our own way, the oneness. And so Joseph Murphy, author of The Power of Your Subconscious Mind. Sometimes Ron does Murphy's Mesmerizing Moments for us. But he studied Neville and said of him, Neville may eventually be recognized as one of the world's great mystics. So I invite you to enjoy this video.
All things exist in the human imagination. And everything you see as an objective reality was produced by imagining. Think of one thing, just think of one thing that would simply deny it. You can't think of one thing. So you go to the moon. You first had to imagine it. Had to imagine everything concerning the machine that took you to the moon. Everything in the world first has to be imagined and then executed. The intelligence to do it will come, but you take the blueprint first and conceive it and dwell in it as though it were true. And no power on earth can stop it from becoming so. But tonight, if you're here for the first time and you want something practical, you apply what I've told you. First, have an objective. You must have an objective. You can't say, well, I don't know what I want. Well, all right. Come back the next time. Ask yourself, what would I like of life? Don't be ashamed to name it, what would I like of life? Well then, try to get some objective. Now, prayer, as far as I'm concerned, is nothing more than the subjective appropriation of the objective hope. That is the way to success. I appropriate it subjectively. How do I appropriate a state subjectively? Well, suppose now, this very moment, I wanted a ball, an ordinary baseball. But there isn't a baseball in the room, all right? But I want one. I would actually assume that I am holding a baseball in my hand until I can feel it. You think you can't feel it? Well, now try it. Try to feel what it would be like if you held a baseball. Now, to prove that you have held it, see what it feels like, the difference now, a tennis ball. See any difference? All right, a golf ball. See any difference? A piece of silk. You feel any difference? If you can distinguish between these many objects, though they are subjective, then there must exist somewhere. If you can actually separate them in your mind's eye and distinguish between these objects, I can begin to feel, begin to sense, begin to smell a rose. Well, a rose doesn't smell or doesn't actually have the odor of another flower. I can detect the rose. Now a lily, an Easter lily. I can detect that. Well, what does it do? Well, I'm going to get them. Someone will think of Neville and send him a flower. And it's going to be the flower that I'm going to actually feel and touch and smell. It works that way. Money has an odor. It's unlike any odor in the world. It's more fragrant to the miser than the most marvelous perfume in the world. He can tell it. You put a money bag to his face, and it's like putting roses to mine. He loves it. He can smell money. He can feel it. Money has a distinct feel about it. Put a $20 bill in your hand and ask you to feel it, and then put another piece of paper in your hand, and you can tell the difference. There's a difference. It is an odor to it. All this is part of the inner man, that all things are possible to him. Try it. Before you condemn it, try it. And if you have the evidence to support my claim, well, then it doesn't matter what the world will tell you. If he laughs at you, so what? So they laughed at everyone who had an idea that seemed a little bit off-center. Always laughed at him. They laughed at the idea of going to the moon. Well, now it's an accomplished fact. There are still those who won't believe it happened, you know, because they don't want to believe that it ever happened. There are those who said you couldn't go down and actually live underwater. Now we have a submarine. There are still those who won't believe it. You can present them with all the facts in the world, and they won't believe it. So I tell you, you try it first. And if it proves itself in performance, it doesn't really matter what the whole vast world thinks. So tonight, take a goal. Make it a lovely goal, either for yourself or for another. For any time that you exercise your imagination lovingly on behalf of another, you're mediating God to that other. So, bring a friend before your mind's eye. Represent him to yourself as the man or the woman that you would like them to be. And don't tell them Ask for no praise. Just assume that they're talking to you and telling you the most marvelous news about themselves. And you congratulate them on that good news. And go your own way. Believe in the reality of that imaginal act. It may happen tomorrow. It may happen the day after, or a week later, or a month later. It has its own appointed hour, and it is ripening, and it's going to flower. So don't be concerned. Leave it alone, and it will come to pass. So this is what I mean by feeling is the secret. I catch the mood, the feeling that would be mine if I were what I want to be. I don't have to touch something. I can if I want to. But it's the mood I'm speaking of. What would the feeling be like if she were well? If she were this? And then you catch it, just as though it is true. You always go to the end, and the end is where you begin. We're always imagining ahead of our evidence. So go to the end, and feel the end. And then, dwell in that end, even though reason denies it, and your senses deny it. You turn your back upon the doubters. That is your senses and what reason dictates. That's the hell or the devil or Satan in the world. That's the doubter. So you turn your back upon it. And then you walk as though things were as you want them to be. And living in that assumption, it slowly hardens into fact. Even though at the moment of the assumption it was denied by reason, an assumption, though false, if persisted in, will harden into fact. So you learn to assume and learn to persist in the assumption, and it will come to pass.
Yeah, I love that video. It's so great. Neville Goddard has some really things and really about that power of imagination, a gift from the divine to help us create our reality. And it's the link between our present moment consciousness and our undreamed of possibilities. So I invite you to put that into practice this week. Think about what it is that you want to live into. Thoreau said, let's say it together, go confidently in the direction of your dreams. Live the life you have imagined. So, beloveds, I invite you to let your creator, your divine creator, come out and play and ask your imagination how you can be used for greater good. If your desire is greater connection with God and good, you'll never cling to anything that is less than good for you. That's really powerful right there. So to anchor this, I invite you to join me in a prayer that I adapted from a daily word on imagination from 1944. The daily word is so brilliant because you can go in the archives and you can look up all these old daily words from eons ago. So let's go say this together. Divine Creator, thank you for the gift of the power of imagination. I recognize it as a channel through which Spirit sends me fresh ideas, giving me a glimpse of what I can accomplish. I take these ideas, bless, and meditate upon them. They may be for something I've never attempted before that will benefit others in some way. As I practice using my imagination, blessing it as a link with God, ideas come to me easily and effortlessly. I bless each one and its perfect manifestation and imagine good unfolding in every area of my life. That is so powerful. Let's say that last part from I imagine good. I imagine good unfolding in every area of my life. Yes. And so it is, and so it is. So to anchor this today, I tried to show the song A Million Dreams a few weeks ago. It didn't play, so I found a different version. And I really love this version too. And I love this song so much. So we'll let this anchor our message on imagination today.
I close my eyes and I can see the world that's waiting up for me, that I call my own. Through the dark, through the door, through where no one's been before, but it feels like home. They can say it all sounds crazy. They can say I've lost my mind. I don't care, so call me crazy. We can live in a world that we design. 'Cause every night I lie in bed, the brightest colors fill my head. A million dreams are keeping me awake. I think of what the world could be, a vision of the one I see. A million dreams is all it's gonna take. Oh, a million dreams for the world we're gonna make. There's a house we can build, every room inside is filled with things from far away. Special things I compile, each one there to make you smile on a rainy day. They can say it all sounds crazy. They can say we've lost our minds. I don't care if they call us crazy. Run away to a world that we design. Every night I lie in bed, the brightest colors fill my head. A million dreams are keeping me awake. I think of what the world could be, a vision of the one I see. A million dreams is all it's gonna take. A million dreams for the world we're gonna make. However big, however small, let me be part of it all. Share your dreams with me. You may be right, you may be wrong, but see that you bring me along to the world you see, to the world I close my eyes to see. I close my eyes to see. Every night I lie in bed, the brightest colors fill my head. A million dreams are keeping me awake. A million dreams. I think of what the world could be, a vision of the one I see. A million dreams is all it's gonna take. A million dreams for the world we're gonna make. For the world we're gonna make.
So powerful. Such a beautiful song, and I've had that going around in my head since for a few weeks ago now, and just thinking about the world that I would like to create. It's far from what it is right now, but you know, a million dreams. So that power of imagination, so beautiful. Okay, so we're going to go to our next slide, and that is, let us just affirm this together. Just remember this truth about yourself. And so we'll say together, I am a beloved child of God. here to be an ambassador of good. What are we here to be? Ambassadors of good. And what are we? Beloved children of God. Yes, we are. So it is time for our financial blessings now. And so I invite you to take your gift to your heart. If you're giving on your phone, you can take your phone to your heart. And Unity of Tempe exists solely from generous financial gifts from our members. So I am so grateful. Let us affirm together, I am a joyful sharer of my good. I remember that as I give, I receive, and that God is my source. Yes, indeed. And there's our QR code if that's better for you. Oh, Divine Spirit, we are so grateful for these gifts. We bless every single person who chooses to support Unity of Tempe, and we bless all who give online as well. We bless everyone, even if they don't choose to support Unity of Tempe. We bless our spiritual community. We are so very grateful. Thank you, thank you, thank you, God. We bless these gifts. We bless the giver and the receiver and the stewardship of their use. And so it is. Amen. Thank you. And we bless every prayer that has ever been in the prayer box or will ever be in the prayer box. So a couple of things. If you are here for the first time, you can sign up for our email list over here today and sign up, subscribe and like our YouTube, help us grow our YouTube channel, and follow us on Unity of Tempe on Facebook. And I just want you to know how loved you are. Even if you're here for the first time and you're like, she doesn't even know me, we still love you. We still already love you. And share the gift of Unity of Tempe. Invite someone to come and be here next Sunday for more spiritual support. Yes. Let us say the prayer for protection together. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is. All is well, and we are grateful. For those watching online, thank you for joining us. We hope to see you in person very soon. Have an imaginative week. And so it is. Amen.